Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruth and I am a busy working mum of 3 children, Jack who is almost 7, Lily who is 3 and Flora who recently turned 1 year old. As my third baby has recently turned 1, we have made that transition from going from bottles to cups and dropping those evening bottle feeds and nightly feeds. And so I wanted to share with you 4 simple things that I did to help make that transition. Of course, I understand that every baby is different and what I did may not work for everyone, but it might give you a few ideas to try and you might find that they work. When they get to 1 year old, they shouldn't really need that formula anymore. They should be getting enough nutrients and vitamins from the food that they're eating, and they should be getting enough dairy, and of course they can now have cow's milk. So the first thing I did to try and help make that transition, for the bedtime feed and for the nightly feed, because my daughter was waking up once or twice a night, I first of all reduced the amount of milk I was giving her. So if she was happily downing, say 7 ounces of milk at bedtime, I started to reduce it to 6 and then 5 over the week. So she started to get used to having slightly less milk and not needing so much before she went to sleep. I did the same thing at night. So when she woke up in the night, rather than give her what she was used to, it's kind of the same for us, isn't it? If we start eating at a particular time every single evening, we then develop that hunger at the same time every single evening. So it's about breaking that feeling of feeling hungry. She shouldn't need to eat in the night. She's had plenty in the day. She's had her milk before bed. So it is probably just habit. So every time she woke, say she was having a 7 ounce bottle or a 6 ounce bottle in the night, again, like that bedtime feed, I started to reduce it over the week. So offering her 6 ounces, then 5, and trying to bring it down so that that kind of pang of hunger that she was having wasn't so bad. So the next thing I did for the bedtime feed was to just completely try and cut out the formula. So how did I do that? I basically just went cold turkey and I offered her a cup of milk. I wanted to ensure that she was getting enough milk before she went to bed. So after her dinner, which she'd normally finish at about 6 o'clock, so between 6 and 7, I would give her a cup of milk and I would keep offering her the cup of milk within that hour before she went to bed, just to make sure that she had had plenty of milk before I put her down. So hopefully, if like me, you started weaning at 6 months old, you would have introduced a cup. So hopefully your baby, like mine, was kind of getting used to using a cup. They've had 6 months of practicing. I use either one of these Tommee Tippee sippy cups, or I do also have one of these miracle cups. To be honest, she'll drink from both. Just for more of ease of cleaning milk out of cup, because it can get a bit smelly, I do use the Tommee Tippee cup for cow's milk. So I would try and get the milk in her before she went to bed, and then do her whole usual bedtime routine like normal, and then put her down. Obviously, it's not going to be that easy. They're not just going to go down and go to sleep. They're so used to having a bottle. And most of the time, they love the comfort of sucking on that teat. But I feel like we just have to kind of be persistent if we really want to eliminate the bottle. So what I did when she was kind of a little bit unsettled or crying, I just kept going into her room, giving her a cuddle, offering her a bit more milk, and she would take some sips and she would accept it, and then she'd lay back down and try and go to sleep. Then she might feel a bit unsettled again and she would wake, and again I would go back in, give her more milk from her cup, and just getting her used to the idea that she was now going to have to take her cup. So over the week, she just started getting used to the fact that she wasn't going to have a bottle anymore, and I could give her a cup of milk and she would take it and she would go down to bed quite easily and go to sleep. So we had cracked that. So now that I've got her used to drinking cow's milk from a cup before bed, that was one thing that I had tackled. The next thing to try and tackle were the night feeds. So as you know, I've already reduced down the formula. It was time to get rid of the formula altogether. Once your tub of formula has ran out, there's no point in buying another tub. It's just time to try and tackle getting rid of it head on. So I knew she loved the comfort from the bottle in the night, and that is a massive part of waking up in the night. Not only that kind of little pang of hunger because she's used to it, but also that comfort of sucking in order to go back to sleep. So I started going into her room with the bottle, but not putting any milk into it. I was actually filling it up with water. and then continued to use that process until she went back to sleep. So she would suck the bottle and kind of be a bit like, hang on, that's not my milk, I don't want that. And I would give her a cuddle and lay her back down, shut the door and go back to bed. Then she might cry again. I would go back into the room, offer her more water, give her a cuddle and put her back down. This might have happened 3 or 4 times. She would eventually go back to sleep, realizing she wasn't going to get any milk out of me. I continued to do this over the second week, and she did take the water. If she was thirsty, she would drink it. And then once I realized she would take water from the bottle, I got rid of it and took this cup in. And so whenever she was waking, I'd go in the night, offer her some water. She might have a sip, lay back down. She might continue to cry, so I'd go back in, give her a cuddle, offer her water. She might not want the water, but she would accept the cuddle, and I'd put her back down. And after a week of doing this, she slept through the night. And so we had successfully got rid of the bottle at bedtime and in the night. So just to recap, my main tips would be to first of all, reduce the amount of formula that they are drinking before bedtime and in the night, and gradually reduce it kind of more and more over the first week. The second thing to do is switch out that bottle at the bedtime feed for a cup. Offer her a cup of cow's milk and just keep offering it until they kind of accept it, and they'll either want to drink all that cow's milk before bed or they won't, and they'll just go to sleep. To tackle the night feeds, the third thing that you can try is offering water in the bottle first. So they're waking up because they want that comfort and that feed. But if you offer them water and keep consistently doing this, they'll get used to the fact that they aren't going to get milk, and they will accept a cuddle and a sip of water and go back to sleep. Once you've been successful with that, you can then switch out the bottle for a cup. And if they wake, go in, offer them a cup of water and a cuddle, put them back down, and then hopefully, eventually, you'll have the same success that I have, where they will just sleep through, because it's really not worth waking up for water. That pang of hunger has gone and they can just sleep through. Again, I know this method won't work for everyone. Some babies are really, really stubborn, and it can take much longer to try and get them to just accept the fact that they're not going to have a bottle, and they might cry longer, they might cry for weeks, they might just find it really hard to accept that you're stopping the milk. So I do understand that there can be struggles. This is my third baby and I have gone through it before a couple of times. So I know it's not always a super easy transition, but I feel like these tips I'm sharing have really worked the third time for me, and it has been successful, so it might be able to help some of you. Another tip that I heard from mums, which I didn't try myself, but I have heard is recommended by health visitors to try and help with that night feed. You can, rather than just go cold turkey like I did and offer water, you can reduce the amount of formula powder that you're putting in the bottle and top it up with more water to try and make it more of a watery drink than a milky drink, and gradually reducing how much you give over the week. So that might be another one for you to try. If you're watching this though and you've been through it and you have any tips that you might like to share, please do pop them in the comments. It's really great to share advice with everybody and share tips, and hopefully we can help other mums out there. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this useful video, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button and the like button, and I hope to see you on my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.